So I did a video on how Aspen Ladd versus Kayla Harrison wasn't a super fight, because it's not. But I posted it to, my Facebook account, shared it a little bit, promoted it a little bit. And somebody commented, "I can't believe somebody's actually doing a video about Aspen Ladd and Kayla Harrison." Well, you know what, buddy? There's an audience for it. So I'm back today to discuss Aspen Ladd making her PFL debut, but not only that, her first fight at featherweight inside the PFL as well. And I'm going to discuss that and her opponent right now. Roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back to Championship Rounds. As I said before, here to discuss Aspen Ladd making her PFL debut against a veteran, a wily veteran at that, in Julia Budd, whom has held some championship gold of her own. Yes, they're going to be squaring off in the Professional Fighters League at 145 pounds. That's featherweight. Aspen Ladd, large in part, competed at, I think she was as low as strawweight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know she went to flyweight, to bantamweight. Yeah, she had a lot of problems making weight. And now she's fighting at featherweight in the PFL. Well, she did have one fight at featherweight in the PFL against Norma Dumont, and she was defeated unanimous decision. Now, Norma's fighting for the belt next against Valentina. That's all signs point to that, so no shame there. But let's see here. Aspen Ladd, her best win of her career would be her pair of wins against Sijara Eubanks, whom is a grappler, a wrestler. She wins on position. Her gas tank doesn't really match the way she fights. But let's see here. Aspen Ladd, does she really have a name? Is Aspen Ladd really a big deal? I think her name is the biggest deal about her. Aspen. You got Aspen. You know what I mean? The mountainous Caucasus, or whatever. And then you got Ladd. You know what I mean? You've seen the movies where they were like, "That's a good lad," or "good lad." So Aspen Ladd, put them together. I think her name is the biggest thing ever. Yeah, she had some buzz. She came in undefeated, won some fights against not exactly the who's who. But let's get to her opponent, Julia Budd, the former Bellator featherweight champion. And yes, she lost her belt to Cyborg. Julia Budd's a worker. She is a worker. She's a grappler. She's going to get you to the ground. She's going to win the fight most likely by unanimous decision, unless she can land some strikes that makes you look like you're not intelligently defending yourself. And if so, the referee will step in and close the show right there. But again, she is a worker. And yes, she's lost her belt to Cyborg, like I said. And yes, she lost her last fight in the PFL even. The question here is, you got Aspen Ladd making her debut, and you got Julia Budd, whom has fought in this promotion and picked up some wins and lost her last fight. Who wins? Who wins, Marcel? Well, it's quite simple. Because if I was a betting man, and I am, put the house on Julia damn Budd. Why, Marcel? Why? Why should we bet our hard-earned money on Julia Budd? Because she is a worker. Not only is she a worker, she's the larger woman. Aspen Ladd, you can't call her a worker. She can't even work hard enough to make weight. So it's telling me that she's going to outwork Julia Budd in the fight? Miss me with that nonsense. I got Aspen Ladd losing her debut in the Professional Fighters League to the seasoned featherweight competitor. Yes, Aspen's making her featherweight debut with one fight in the weight class under her belt that she lost against a striker, not even a grappler, Norma Dumont. Anyways, Budd's the bigger fighter. Budd's the harder working fighter. And Budd has only lost to Amanda Nunes, Ronda Rousey, and Cyborg. And yes, she lost her last fight in the Professional Fighters League to a fighter that didn't even make weight. Sounds familiar? A fighter like Aspen Ladd, who didn't make weight, but a bigger fighter. They fought at like 160 pounds. Something like that. Don't quote me. But I think it said 160 pounds. That's pretty large, considering the featherweight limit is 145, 146 if it's a non-title fight. So yeah, bet the bag on Julia Budd. Aspen Ladd, everybody wants to know, how's she going to look? How's she going to look after her coach jumps out there and says, oh, well, we weren't fighting at the right weight class. Well, we'll see how she looks, and I see her taking the L. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments, of course. And until next time, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.